I have got the red 50mm 2 cable, which is the cable I need for this last connection, where I will put the Seplos connection point to as well. So that will be for battery pack number 1 and Seplos Mason battery pack number 2. I've also got the 35mm 2 cables, which will go from the other side of the isolators up to the these fuses, 200 amp fuses. And with that in place, I can actually run the motor build that I'm working on from this battery, from the Seplos battery. So let's give that a go. If you are new to this channel, I just want to add that I'm using tinned copper wire, which is better in marine environment. It will last a bit longer. Doing the crimping with a very cheap YQK70 crimping tool you can get on Amazon or eBay. Once crimped, good thing with the Seplos Mason connections is that you literally just clip them together and then push this little rubber seal on at the end. So it's a very simple construction. So end product looks like this. On the other side, I just use some standard shrink wrap, and while we're talking about 50mm 2 cable, this is the cable shoe I'm using. So the marking for that is 50-8 or SC50-8. So 8 stands for the stud size, 8mm, and 50 is for the 50mm 2 cable. So that makes it easy for you to work out what stud size or what cable foot size you need for your cable. After shrinking, it now looks like this, and this cable is ready for the boat. One of the actual original parts that will go in the boat. A lot of the other cabling is not tinned copper wire, so it's more for the setup I have now, but they will have to be replaced. Now from the isolator switches to the fuses and then up to the motor, I got 2 meters of this 35mm 2 cable, so I'm going to cut that in half so I have 2 1-meter pieces for each of the batteries, and then put the cable shoes on these as well. Let's do that. On this one I'm using a SC35-8 on one of the sides because the isolator switch is an 8mm stud, and it's a CS35 6mm on the opposite side, which is the size of the 200 amp marine fuse I'm using. That gives you an idea of the different markings. One cable complete for battery pack number 1. What I don't have is more of these CS35 6 ends, so I will have to order more before I can do the second cable for the battery pack that I have yet to build. So there's no urgency. At least I have one set, which is all I need to connect this to the electrical motor now. So this is the first time I'm actually running the motor build from the Seplos Mason battery pack that I put together in previous episodes. So it's all slowly coming together. So let's see how it works. So we've got the first primary Seplos box, which is completed, connected to the isolator switches. From the isolator switches, we're now going up to the marine 200 amp breakers. That goes into a junction, because I will have 2 batteries going in, and that junction is then cabled up to the actual motor build itself. And with a bit of luck, I should be able to switch the battery on, and we should be able to use the throttle and have some movement. So let's see. Let's turn all the isolator switches on. That comes up here, so that will be this one and this one, and then we come up here. That will be these 2. They're already on. That's on as well. They then go down into the these ones, and then that goes into the motor controllers, and we should have some form of... Okay, so nothing's happening, so I assume that the battery, because it hasn't had any draw for a few days, has gone into a sleep mode. So I am going to reset that one. Here's a question. I obviously will have the same scenario on the boat, which means that unless I have this reset button on the actual available on the boat itself and not in the aluminium box under the floorboards, that's going to cause some problems. There must be a way to start this battery pack without having to reset it. So if anyone has any ideas... Okay, so I clicked the active balancer. That seems to be doing something. That is literally just balancing the pack. It's not starting up the display. So yeah, if you have used a Seplos Mason before and can give some feedback on the best way of starting a battery pack up that has been gone into sleep mode, then feel free to stick that in the comment, please. Update. I contacted Seplos, who confirmed that there is a setting called static standby where you can set it to either on or off, and that should take care of the issue that I'm having. That will make sure it doesn't go into sleep mode. So I just need to figure out how to connect the Seplos battery pack to the PC via the API, the comms port, and I should be able to set that. For this video, I'm going to use the reset button. I don't think you should use that too often because it's definitely not an on-off switch, but I'm going to do that anyway, just to start up. So Seplos BMS welcomes you. This is where I want to get to without having to reset it. So we still have 99.6 state of charge, which looks great. Package voltage 53.64. So I guess we should now be able to start it up. Yeah. We have the contactors have kicked in, so I should be able to. Yeah. And reverse side. So yeah, I am now running the motor from the first Seplos pack. Hooray! So with the Seplos battery now being connected to the motor and it works, I just need ice in that area. So I'm going to connect it to the Victron Smart Shunt so I can see what the draw is of that battery on the Sailboat display, which Victron has as well. So that will be good. I'm also going to connect the battery box to an API. It's a comms cable that goes to the PC, and Seplos have a special computer program that allow you to do configurations and see exactly what's going on. So I am receiving that cable very soon, and I should be able to connect that this week as well. A question which I was thinking about was, most of my cables are not tinned, but as cables are quite expensive, I've been thinking I should replace all of the cables with tinned cable, but maybe I should keep cables that are above the floorboards in just general copper, and when and if they start to go bad, at that point replace them. So the question to you seasoned sailors is, or anyone who works with electronics, would you say that I should replace all the copper cables with tinned copper cables before I start using the system, or is it safe to maybe use some of the non-tinned copper cables, keep an eye on them, and then replace them as and when needed? So yeah, have a think, let me know what you think. Thanks. So against this speed, I'm currently drawing roughly 10 amp, so 9.67 amp, which is looks quite good to me actually. I've yet to connect these motors to water cooling, so I don't want to run them too long without the cooling in place. Saying that, at the touch of the motors, they are still very cold, so I guess there's no damage done at this point. Thank you for watching this snapshot episode of the Kiribati 36 boat build. If you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more. If you have any comments or any great ideas, please stick them in the comments and I will respond. And if you're interested in previous episodes about the boat build or the actual motor build, then you can find separate playlists for that here somewhere. Enjoy your week. Thank you.